Okay, this is part 2 to my video. The second thing I want to say is, you know, if anyone's talking about like people being embarrassed, or like, you know, people, someone close to me being embarrassed or like feeling hurt or any of that type of stuff to make it feel like to try to guilt trip a person, the devil's a liar. This is like, and people try to do reverse psychology stuff and all that type of stuff, devil's a liar. Okay, I don't know what CD is. And so all doppelgangers who try to do this stuff, like the furthest extent of doppelganger is still below my level in terms of if that's their career and stuff. The highest level doppelganger is below my level. You know, I'm Supreme God, whatever, Supreme God, Supreme Being, or whatever, right? Professional, artist, whatever. Assuming, I don't really know the exact titles, but to the extent that there is a title, my, you know, who I am professionally is higher than whatever the professional thing for a doppelganger is, to the highest extent. Let's say, you know, people who graduate from, or like 4th grade, the highest level of 4th grade, like people who got 4th grade down to a nail, right? I'm just saying where 4th grade ends, like I'm you know, I'm at 9th grade, right? So let's say doppelganger, you know, ends at 4th or 5th grade. That's it. You know, I don't run roughshod. I don't fail to manage and that type of stuff. So, and it built in checks for all of that. I don't have to dim my light for everybody else to feel better about themselves, right? So that's it. I'm not explaining myself or any of that type of thing, but, and there's nothing wrong with the way I was. So people are trying to convince me that this is how Anton has always had. You've been like this from day one, Anton. You just didn't know. And that was a lie, okay? Because no female knows me better than I know myself. There are guys who know me well. I love there are guys I love, you know, positive regard to other guys and everything. You know, I don't know what your scene is. You know, I'm not gay, and, you know, I'll never be gay, and that's it. And I'm not even bi-curious, not even curious about it at all. And say, well, you do anything, the way you do everything, you know, that's like, in what regard? Let's go with that. And then also, if I'm intellectually curious, they're assuming that like I'm curious about everything, and that was a lie. Okay. That does not mean you're curious, because it's like the framework is the way you do anything, the way you do everything, and that's then is intellectually curious, and she has 8 degrees, and then the way she does everything, the way she does anything, everything she does anything, the way she does everything, she must be curious about everything. That was a lie. Because people don't understand why, like, that can be a logical flaw, an error. Males and females are different. I don't want to say all this because apparently, you know, people are like, Wednesday, you were talking in, and that's how we got here. That was a liar. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Positive regard to each person. And then, you know, I don't have any character flaws, problems, issues, or whatever. I have a good character. The energy work is a problem, positive regard on the energy work, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm not saying I would never, I'm not saying this. I'm just saying, right, it is a problem, right? It is a problem. And, like, our religious beliefs in silly hell. And I'm not saying there's anything to it, but apparently, like, people tap out of high school, and that's all, like, females can do at the high school. I don't really know. But, you know, positive regard to them, right? And if it's acknowledged in every jurisdiction, that's great. But, and not gonna make me mad or jealous. I'm just saying, like, that's not what I'm doing here. And, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, so I'll take my time to figure it out. But, like, and then the other thing I want to say is, I think that the other thing I want to say is just that, I guess they'll come back to me. Anyway, I already got past the calling thing. I got past, like, it's an opportunity to cure stuff, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I just want to say, like, I think there was one other thing I wanted to say, and, like, I wanted to end it. But, like, when I say this is the last thing I want to say, then, you know, I guess the devil wants me to, like, keep just talking, say all these type of things. It's just one thing, like, I'm trying to say. And it's like, you know, the devil, like, wants, like, all the imps and demons and all that stuff want to kind of get in and, like, hear everything, you know, because people, you know, and use people because people can be greedy and gluttonous and, like, selfish and, like, you know, but, you know, and like just unaware, right? So they just want to kind of work you to death and, like, try to bleed you dry. And I'm like, turn up, okay? So anyway, but, like, when I say bleed dry, whatever, blah, blah, I'm just saying, like, trying to get blood from a turnip or whatever, blah, 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 right? So it's like, I have to tell, like, myself, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go, you know, I'm not going to be working myself to death to, like, get through this point or whatever. But, like, I think the last thing I wanted to say is, I don't know, but, like, in terms of my contributions, right? My books are a contribution, like, my, you know, everything that I've, like, done, like, in terms of, like dancing and modeling, And like, you know, I have certain like kind of things I've drawn and stuff like that. Not as much, but like in terms of artistry, you know, it's all out there, right? Well, there's music you know, music I have, which is out there, whatever. And so all those things, and it is something mental health, right? There's something to mental health and diagnosis and all this type of stuff. This is true. And so, and you know, Kanye West said they're trying to sun you, right? So, like basically, if you like people want to work you to death, but they don't think like it's like shield and sword thing. Like, they think that like, well, you know, I can, you know, they want to use like if I'm talented, they want to say, well, you know, whatever excuse to try to like use it as a shield, a sword to say, well, to try to discredit my talent and to use it as a sword, a shield to try to like stop them from having to pay for like whatever talents I have. They don't want to pay for like things that I have created, so they want to get them for free or whatever. They want to use it as a shield to like defend why they don't have to pay for my talent, and like, or they want to try to use it as a sword to try to say, well, my talent is now what it is, right? And then they also want to they want to play adopted kid shit, and I just, you know, because some females have no skills, right? I mean, I don't know, but I would assume they have no skills, and like they claim to fame is having a child or whatever. I don't really know, positive regard to that, and I don't know how good they are at that, but positive regard. So anyway, but like. And so, and they're uninvolved males, positive regard. Like, I'm not littering men in the past or that type of stuff. Like, if there are guys who think that, like, I have a good heart, and I did not cause men to be any type of way. But apparently, you know, sometimes, you know, people, like, you know, guys are smart or whatever, but it doesn't mean that they don't have, like, you know, if a guy has a heart or whatever, you know, then, you know, people try to exploit whatever. Females, you know, sometimes females are grimy, but like people try to exploit different things. Like they know a person has a vulnerability, they try to exploit their vulnerability. It doesn't make them eggshells, doesn't make them like, you know, weak-willed or anything. It just means that people try to exploit different things. And some females are, you know, malicious, right? You know, what is it? I forget the expression. I don't want to, it's like, because they think that, like, my understanding of expression is not good enough. Because my understanding of expression, something I learned a long time ago or whatever, is guttural or whatever. It's just cursory as opposed to, like, what this expression actually means, right? So it's saying at this point, this is how people understand, like, through truth and trust, whatever, blah, blah. But hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, right? That type of thing. And I think people were trying to apply that to me, but that's not what I'm doing, right? In my sleep, I don't think I'm doing, like, a whole lot of, like, kamikaze stuff, but God is good, right? So anyway, and you know, including I think like the kamikaze, I think that was maybe Indian term, I'm not really sure, but like the actual words, right? But they have different meanings to different people depending on what your orientation to those words are, right? But anyway, so I understand like it's something totally different. But anyway, in terms of like, you know, kind of creating chaos and stuff, and like, you know, and also like kind of power constructs anyway. But anyway, or power ways of demonstrating or power. I don't really know. But anyway, so So that's, I think, the only thing I wanted to say about that. So I think the only other thing I want to say, I do want to keep this one short. It's like this video is short. The only thing I want to say, and I'm trying to recall what I was going to say, because there was some other things in the video. I'm pretty sure I went back to them, but did I consciously address them and like, you know, and go back to what I was like kind of juggling things in the air and isolation, like isolating balls and isolating ideas in the air, right? So did I return to each of them, and am I conscious of when I return to each of them? And I'm pretty sure I did as a habit, as a matter of habit, but I just, you know, I just wanted to address it in the second video very briefly. But oh, okay. Well, so sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way, people. But like in terms of, I say, oh, okay, like it was some other energy, but like, so I wanted to say, well, about the sunny thing, right? So some people will try to pay you an experience and say that's all you get, give you a loan, pay you an experience, and then be like, you know, that's it, that's what you get. That was a liar. But, you know, oh, and, you know, and they try to, like, you know, but if my name is on it, it's a little bit different, right? So my name is on, like, if my name is on my money, like, that's it. But, like, in terms of people other people trying to put their names on my stuff. The devil's a liar. God has the ability to keep it straight. I'm not running around here like a chicken with her head, with the head cut off, whatever, blah blah. The devil's a liar. Chicken with her head cut off. The devil's a liar. Okay, because like people want me to like start like running behind everybody to like recapture chattels. Like it's the idea in law, right? And people have different stuff, blah blah. They want me to run around like capture this, capture, because everybody wants to be a star in the show, basically. You know, everybody wants to like, you know, everybody like, oh yeah, we're going to like internet. Oh yeah, internet. Like no, that's not what's going on here, people. But hypothetically speaking, or metaphorically speaking, right? It's not what's going on, right? Because everybody wants to star in my show, positive regard. I don't mean show. I just mean like, you know, show, right? The idea of like, you know, whatever being in my life. That was a lie. You know, female friends, cool. You know, I've had female friends my entire life. You know, no big deal. They're not, you know, that's positive regard to the females. Don't really need a female friend, right? But apparently females think they're on this earth. I don't know why they think they're on this earth, but they're not on the, I don't know what you're saying. Okay, I keep saying it's a short cube for like, you know, whatever people think. Like sometimes it has to do with like females thinking that it's personal when it's not. Like, you know, like I'm not gay, I'm not a lesbian, I'm not like, there's no I'm not curious about anything and that stuff. And, you know, certain people, they did kind of like, you know, I don't want to like, I'm not trying to like, even by saying I'm not trying to promote it, but certain artists and stuff like that, they may challenge them on those types of things. Like, I'm not saying it over and over again for that reason. You know, it's just something totally different, right? They know, everyone knows it's not my issue, first and foremost, right? Sometimes you can catch a person in the picture and you're like, oh, well, you know, or, you know, those types of things. But everybody knows it's not my issue. And so I don't want to have to keep saying it over and over again. I did play sports, and like maybe the law profession may be considered, you know, masculine in certain ways and stuff like that. But and sometimes I keep my hair short. But you know, if you talk about like trauma type stuff, but that's totally different. But like I'm not none of that put together, whether it's ad hoc, piecemeal, you know, whatever you want is going to, none of that adds up to like being gay. None of it. It just means that, you know, that's it. It just means that it just means like I'm smart and logical. That's it. But it has no bearing on my sexuality. I'm a beautiful woman, and I love men and men love me. That's it. But I think females who just kind of throw money at that, because I don't know, sometimes people think they knock me off or whatever, you know, they can knock me off, and they are trying to like make, you know, they try to like, you know, because females think it's a competition and stuff, you know, so they think that like they can try to convince people about that, then like they can come up or whatever, like we're gonna come up on her back, blah blah blah, or you know, we can knock her off, and so therefore they think they're gonna be number one because like they think they were able to knock me off, whatever. That was a lie. You know, I'm not defending my sexuality because of like competition. I'm just like, I just love men. That's it. And so if females keep trying to throw it in, and I'm not curing it when I say it over and over, because in doppelganger jurisdiction, I think that's what they think is like positive. Whatever. I'm telling them I ain't no doppelganger. That's not who I am. So they cannot subject me to doppelganger or thought or any of that type of stuff, or you know, big bird bitch, whatever you want to call them. You can't subject me to any of that jurisdiction. Even in like, say it's the highest jurisdiction, assuming it's like Supreme Court. I don't really know what I know now. Assuming it is, like I'm even like there are even things about me that are exception to the rules in that jurisdiction also. Assuming that's like the highest jurisdiction, you know, for like, you know, just generally speaking, right? Even though there may be like different ranks even in this particular jurisdiction. Anyway, so that's it, because people keep trying to like hold me to doppelganger and stuff. It's not natural for me. I don't like it's not something I typically, it's just not. They may look at me and think that that's who I am, but there are people who know, I would presume, that's not who I am. Some people, my name may be dispositive, my birthday may be for different things. So if they're throwing money at it and they know it's not who I am, and they know it's a very slight nuance, a very slight variation, they know it's dispositive, then like that's a problem. They try to say, well, Antoinette doesn't have any female friends because you know now she's 40 or whatever, and she's been married. She's just gonna like all of a sudden like start doing things a different way. That was a lie, okay? Even though things have happened in my life and everything, it does not change who I am. I'm the same person I've been since day one, and you know people don't change their mind. Even though I build flexibility, it's most people, certain people, whatever. But I built flexibility. There's certain people we know exception to the rule. I wasn't gonna say that, but whatever. But like there are people who may change a bit or whatever. I don't really know, but I'm put it to the side, okay? People don't rely on that. I'm put it to the side. For me, in my life, okay? Because people like applying it to themselves and all type of stuff. But for me and my life, okay? Like I haven't changed that much. I'm still pretty conservative, right? Even if my actions may seem a certain way or whatever. Like my state of mind, which is something that you may not be able to determine. People, no female will ever be able to know. But like my state of mind, or my heart, no female will ever be able to know. But my state of mind, like it has not changed from day one. You know, God is good. It's like, well, why would you believe in God if like things that happen to you, like I said in 10 these things, I just believe in God. I don't know. There's no way I can, like, I cannot help, you know, as a Christian, I guess, I don't know, but some people say Jesus Christ or whatever, or Jesus, I don't really know. Positive regard, okay? Because if it's a conflict of interest, you know, I don't want to, like, that's it. But like, but that's it, right? And so they said so and so felt hurt, so and so. That was a lie. I don't want to hear none of that. But like, so because it's not true, but people are just using it because they hope that if I become emotional, I'll say something that will help them make money. And that was a lie. To the extent it is true and a real thing, it's great. But to the extent that guys are trying to be like, you know, dads and like all this type of shit and discipline, and like, I'm a grown ass woman. Why would I need somebody to discipline me? Don't be ridiculous, people. Positive regards to each of you, though. And a lot of times just to distract me, right? So people say some stuff like, yeah, internet and come on and all this stuff. Just to distract me, right? And people like to cue everything. Well, I said, what's wrong with hearing that? Blah, blah, blah. And you need to hear this and you need to be comforted. And that was a lot of stupid shit. Okay, I'm a grown ass woman. I don't need to hear none of that shit. Positive regard. Because again, females trying to make a case for themselves about why they think they should get a dime off the dollar or a penny off the dollar. And that was a lie. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can be mother, grandmother, mom, grandma, any of that shit. I don't owe no bitch nothing. And like when I'm feeling a certain way or when I'm doing something or whatever, blah, 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 and I'm trying to concentrate and the bitch say like, yeah, Antoinette, or come on, Antoinette, or like do some sympathetic bitch shit or try to like whatever they try to do in whatever the world, the ether, the truth, the trust, whatever, blah, blah, that was a lie. I don't see that. Most people don't do that like this on their everyday basis, like whatever, blah, blah. But like, don't be dumb, people. If you look at me and I look young or whatever, that's great, you know, that's it. But like, I take care of myself. But like, we're not doing that. Like, I've never been on that time, and now in that time now. Something about functional age, though, right? If people are insecure at a certain age or have certain types of insecurities at a certain age, it's just a functional age, right? That's how the world works. Developmental stage and stuff like that. But nobody can take credit for it, right? You get to a certain age, most people say, okay, that's great. But, you know, I ain't paying for that. That's it. You can say it. At a certain age, up until a certain age, you get to a certain age, you can say, I'm not paying for it. That's it. I figured it out. Why would I pay for it? But if I'm, you know, do a good, I have a good heart and I do a good deed and I like this, whatever. You can't like people think that, if they lost, but they think first of all they're not entitled to a pity fuck. But if I give, I don't want to call it pity fuck, but that's the idea. Like pity fuck is like. Really, what I hear that as like, because people, if you do too many of those, you might go the other way or whatever, blah blah. That was a lie. But like, you know, if I'm kind or whatever. I don't want to use that word because people think like kind, considerate, compassion. They think it's personal and like a matter of the heart and all that. You know, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, the word, that's the expression. It's called pity, but I don't really know. Okay, but moving on. But I'm not gonna say that, right? Because I don't want to have any type of innuendo about what the word fuck means. Okay, but like if people lose, right? And you know, I figured out the Treaty of Versailles and everything. But like, if people lose, and I'm like, you know, I positive regard them, I go with that. But they think that when they get positive regard, they're supposed to get the gold medal and shit. What the fuck they do that shit at? Right? Because I won. I'm positive regard. I'm not rubbing it in. I'm going about my business and everything. Blah blah blah. But they think they are supposed to get what I won. The devil is a liar. That's some dumb shit. Where the fuck they do that at? Okay. Because I don't know why they do that, but you know, it's females mostly. I would presume. I don't really know, and the males is working with them because everybody trying to get money, positive regard. But like, people might not like my philosophy. They might not like the way but like, that's it. It's my life, right? That's it. I'm entitled to live my life the way I choose to live my life, and that's it. And people are like, well, if you know what that's going on, or blah 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 blah, in positive regard. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus or anything like that, right? I'm just saying. Like, to the extent that, like, because there should be a thing where, like, if this jurisdiction, if this zero sum, if I, internet, I want this and you want that and we can't both have that and we can't both have it, then that means they got to go or I got to go. It's like, when did they do that? Like, they still splitting up families? Like, I thought slavery ended a long time ago. And so, at minimum, holidays, at minimum. right? And that shouldn't even be like subject to the vote or jurisdiction in certain regards. In certain regards, right? But I just put a pin in. I don't know everything about it. So, and apparently people say like stuff like when it's like an interest that like it's an interest that maybe someone in my family, an interest that like another guy may have the same type of interest or whatever. They try to use somebody who's close to me to help. Like we're helping you understand like why it's a conflict of interest. That was a lie. I don't need any type of physical person, blah blah blah, to understand why. And like, cause they're trying to like make a case about why someone could have like about basically trying to get to like why people trying to blame somebody so they don't have to pay money basically. I don't know what CD is. So anyway, that's it. But like, and a lot of guys do adopted kid shit too. It's annoying to me. I'm sorry. Oh, that shit is annoying to me. I ain't no adopted kid. And when I say that, I just mean like I'm a grown woman, right? And people are not in your family. It's not time to raise a child. It's never my issue, right? Anyway, it's not my issue. I know it's never my issue. I might not know everything about people, but I knew enough. Emotional strength, physical discipline. I knew enough, right? It's never my issue. People have always, and I'll never know about them, bitch. A positive regard to people. And people make different decisions. I don't know if anybody people make different decisions. That's it. But like, so, there's something else I want to say. And I'm going, there's something I want to say because I really want to include this thing. I don't want to be talking all night. I don't want to be talking. I do not. I do not want to talk all night. But like, yeah, always been marriage material. Don't want no females, nothing. It was good for Gander. Always been silly hell. And like, you're not going to guilt trip me. It's not walking on eggshells and I'm walking on eggshells. And I don't know if you're wrong. There's nothing going on that continuum. As much as a person can be an architect, I'm an architect. I don't know why people think they're smarter than me because I have 8 degrees. If anything, it's worth something. It's like enough of a proxy for people to know that like usually when you get a degree, it means you're pretty smart, right? So, or like at least you or studied or whatever or educated, whatever. So, I have 8 of them. Okay, so that's notice enough. And I know why people think who haven't done anything, they're smart as me. And I'm also 40, right? So if you talk about experience, I've also worked my entire life. Like I work jobs, go to school, gone to school. I'm educated, I work hard, I'm 40 years old, and I'm creative. I wasn't gonna say that. I'm 40 years old, and I'm disciplined. And I wasn't gonna say that. I'm 40 years old, and experienced, right? So I'm not really sure. Males and females are different. I don't know why females think that they on my level for like and like to listen to the comment. I don't want nobody don't get offended by what I'm saying, females, and say, well, we're offended, so we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. That was a lie of positive regard. There's a conflict of interest between regarding me and their families where they're siblings of different genders, and so they gotta I'm not really sure what people are saying. I mean, people acting dumb as fuck right now, and I don't want people queuing signals and trust and stuff to like because and doing adopted kid shit like to. Because apparently people think that they raising my brothers and shit. And the devil is a liar. It's stupid ass shit. And females like doing adopted kids. It's annoying as hell. Anyway. Anyway. But that's it. So that's it. I wanted to say some other things. And the energy work is a problem. Like there's energy work. Like sometimes right here in my throat, there's energy work. It is very annoying to me. And then like I have to like clear it up. It's very, very annoying to me because apparently this is how people are trying to like split up my money. If I write a book, and also the give a lick thing is also a problem for me. But apparently if I'm writing a book, if I write a book or whatever, everybody's trying to like take credit for my book. It's like, well, I gave this idea and that idea, so apparently every idea, if I write the 70,000 or 90,000 page, 90,000 word book or whatever, and and 90,000 people say that they each like contribute a penny's worth of knowledge or a penny idea, then like when I'm selling my books, they're like, well, I gotta pay everybody a penny before I get anything. If I pay everybody a penny, then my book, it's like, what's the royalty in the book? And that was a liar. I put in the work, I have research, all that type of stuff, experience. I have the data points to say that I wrote the book and I am the author of the book. Okay? I am the author of the book. I don't care. It could be all the stuff I did, figured out, defended, defeated, cure. That's it. And then I'm not really sure how the devil works, but in terms of certain things. But then the devil is like trying to like make it seem like I'm doing energy work on myself. Okay, the devil is a liar. Okay, it's annoyance to me. It's an annoyance to me. Okay. Anyway, so but because that's how that was a liar. Okay, that was a liar. So and I don't know what you're saying is, but like anyway, because I would never say that. Like That was a lie, and like that wasn't like good enough and shit, because like when you say something and then they want to just like say, well, if it was no issue, then why would she even say it, or if there's no issue, then and that was a lie. It's just stupid shit. No good deed goes unpunished. Sometimes people, it's not even affirming it to disaffirm it. It's just you just saying it what it is, calling what it is. They say calling a spade, not affirming or disaffirming. It's just like that's what it. I don't know what the saying is, but like people are trying to use like certain type of psychology shit, right? Not psychology. Not that there's nothing to psychology. Not that there's nothing to the any type different types of ways of understanding like mind and like in stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying people try to use it in improper ways, in inappropriate ways. But at one point, only 20% of the population had degrees, and males and females are different. Males, like I said, males may have legal minds and all that type of stuff, but it's still something like even still like they probably still have to work a bit to like cultivate. I don't think they should have to go through trauma to cultivate their mind or whatever. But people make different decisions, right? So what is the equivalent of 3 years of law school, for a guy who graduated from college, graduated from high school or whatever, or maybe he didn't graduate from high school, but he's living this life. Maybe he's adult at 18 or whatever, 21, whatever, or whatever age he becomes an adult, and then like what's the equivalent? And he's a legal-minded person, and what's the equivalent of the next 3 years? What's the equivalent of 3 years of law school for a guy, who was legal minded? So for him to be, caught up with a guy who went to law school in like, after actually went to like actual, law school, after college or whatever, went to college and then law school. Like, what is it? If a guy didn't go to college and law school, like in the traditional, like brick and mortar sense, they run friends with me now. Like, what is it? Well, how I understand brick and mortar is to be a building, right? Brick and mortar, because you make a building out of brick and mortar, okay? But like, what would a guy have to do, right? How would a guy have to perfect his mind or study, right? Because right now I'm speaking in a way I would not necessarily, or a way I would not speak, right? I have a certain consciousness regarding the words I'm saying. I wouldn't take time to with the words and the meaning the way I am saying them at this time. It's not something I am accustomed to spending time an expression, right, the way certain other jurisdictions might, right? So that's it. And I'm not giving credence to the jurisdiction, stuff like and anything like that, or not taking anything away from them. I'm not doing either one. But like every now and again, I guess as if I took Latin. I didn't take Latin, but it's like as if I took Latin. So it's like I have to speak in a different type of saying the same words and everything. It's like people rap basically, okay? So it's like I'm rapping and shit. I'm rapping with y'all right now, okay? But that's it, okay? But apparently every female who like went through a trust thinks that she rapping and shit. I don't really know. Positive regard, y'all, and positive regard though. But like that's it, okay? So. And so then like people oh gosh, it's too much. But like, and I don't want to say too much, but like because apparently people take many bars or whatever. People speak many languages, but if you speak many languages because you were born in a country where everybody speaks the language, it really didn't take that much work because everybody was speaking different languages around you, right? So you just picked it up because everybody was speaking different languages. And they say it's easier to learn language when you're a kid, right? So if you just picked it up when you were a kid, you didn't think about it, blah blah blah. Positive regard, that was whatever. You're born there, and that's it, okay? So, they say it's difficult to learn. I don't really know. Put a pin in it. It's easier to learn as a kid than it is when you get to a certain age. I have built flexibility into my model. Even though I am conservative and people don't change how much, I have built flexibility into my model. So I've always been flexible. Always. Physically, spiritually, mentally, mostly. Even though I am conservative or conservative reserved, however you want to say it. Right, I will return to the idea But apparently when I say things, if I say things that's out in the ether or whatever, and like another jurisdiction or whatever can catch the signals or whatever, or however it works in the spiritual realm or whatever, then if it's a conflict in another jurisdiction, then just my speaking, they say that's not what discipline is. And discipline, they'll say, well, my speaking can have an impact. Someone else in some other jurisdiction where someone, they catch the signal or whatever, and then they interpret it a certain way, and it's like, well, which is it, And then, someone under, like two different, very, very different jurisdictions, then like how, then that person has to then notice. So apparently I got to walk around not saying shit, right? But it's not possible. So, then it's like, then all of a sudden, like, then what's going on, then how am I supposed to live my life, right? Basically, they want me to abstain from living my life or say every single thing that comes to my mind and blah, blah, blah. The devil's a liar. What is liberty? What is freedom? Okay? And I'm telling people right now, screen everybody off, whatever. I'm about to speak, like, I've been living for 40 years. If people know, I'm about to just speak the way I speak, okay? That's it. Positive regard to each of you right now. So if you cannot handle it right now, just Antoinette, Yvonne Jefferson, like, I'm 40 years old, blah, blah. So anyway, and I'm, because I've taken a lot of time with this. And I've been disciplined since day one. I build flexibility into my model. If you're a guy and you, so whatever, screen yourself off. If you're a guy or whatever, and you have a legal mind or whatever, it probably still some, it's a number of work that may need to be done in order to get to a point where, a person may have the equivalent of 3 years in truth of being a lawyer, right? Or 3 years, I'm sorry, in the brick and mortar, going to actual law school. I don't want to say in truth, but in going to a law school, actual law school, where you write, admissions application, this type of stuff. Okay, I don't know about females, positive regards to the females, just pass that off to the side. But anyway, for me, right? So it may be a equivalent, like how, and I'm not really sure what that equivalent is, but a guy may know what the equivalent is, or there may be a law, and he may be a guy may be accustomed to what the laws, he may know what the law is, and blah, 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 and that's great. So it's great. I mean, that's great. It's great. And so he will be able to, learn what he needs to learn in that jurisdiction to be caught up, or to be the equivalent of like, if a professional Supreme Being, he's Supreme God, whatever, to be the equivalent, right? And so, and he probably is prepared for, or he knows, right? So if I say I'm a woman, right? But say I'm an exception or whatever. Say for whatever reason, I am very experienced. Assuming argument though, I'm very experienced in my profession. Say I'm like an experienced lawyer or experienced attorney or whatever. Just say I am. Just saying for this purpose, and say I am, and like nobody get confused now. I'm just saying for the purpose of this hypothetical. Okay, if I am, and typically it would take somebody 30 or 40 years to be at this level where I am, assuming assuming I am, assuming I am like, I have knowledge of whatever, I'm practicing whatever, of like an attorney of like 30 years or whatever, experience for 30 years, whatever. And it's like, well, if a guy wants to be in my jurisdiction, he has to like be at the place that I am. And typically people have to go to law school, in a brick and mortar and everything, and then practice for whatever, 30 years, blah, blah, whatever. Assuming arguendo. And it's like, well, if they don't do that, then how can they stay in my jurisdiction and stuff like that? That's the only way they can stay in my jurisdiction. Then how do you do that, right? How do you do it? I mean, I'm not saying that, like, cause some people say, well, Anthony, just say no or yes. They say you're a lawyer and you say either no or it's yes. That's it. It's not like pen and life, sure. It's not this, it's not that. It's not, it's not JD. It's not JD plus. No. I get it. Positive regards to each of you. I know what each person is saying. That's great. Apply to yourselves. So anyway, but like, and I've said it very, very clearly, right? But it's like, well, we don't know what that means, because it's leading us astray. Even though you're saying and you know what it means, we don't know what it means. We don't know if we can rely. We don't know if we can, this is like people speaking like in, how other people are saying about, maybe saying, like, we don't know, we don't really know what that means, because it's like you're speaking with it like a two-edged tongue or whatever, twitch or whatever, like a silver tongue, and devil's lie, RB's dog enemy, or whatever. It's like double speak, right? They're saying they're hearing two different things when I'm saying it. It's way worse than built-in checks. I'm saying don't rely. I'm saying, like, I'm not giving legal advice. I'm not giving medical advice. None of this. I'm not doing any of that. I am not. I graduated from law school. I have a Juris Doctorate. I have at least 4 Master of Laws degrees. I've passed 3 bar exams. And apparently nobody's dumb. They try to make me think that they dumb, and I'm not dumb, and I know they know what the fuck they doing, and so they gonna try to blame me because how did we get here in the first place, people? That's a great, and it's like, no good deed goes unpunished, and how soon we fucking forget, okay? So that's it, okay? So anyway, but so if a guy was actually, in my relationship, but if some guy was in my, jurisdiction, and he wants to like stay whatever, he's like, well, he's like, in my jurisdiction, if they can't keep up with me or whatever, and it's like they need, I need you to slow down here, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, I need you to, and it's like it's not eggshell, it's not run rush, none of that stuff. It's just how it is, just how it is. I need you to. It's like, okay, I'm great, it's great, but people are trying to say like I'm not greedy or gluttonous, I don't have any problem, blah blah blah. Like this is stories. I mean, so many arguments that was true. They're built in checks on religious leaders specifically help, and like each every man for himself. But I'm not selfish, right? So as much as I can, I will. But like to the extent that it's like trying to cripple me or all this type of stuff, disable me or those types of things, like that's a problem, right? But I get it about sacrifice and like whatever you want to say, right? So I get it. But at this point, it's like, what have I been doing for the last 20 years or 40 years of my life? You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, but like, so that's it, right? So, that's never been what I've done. But people should be on notice. Like people are on notice about what I've been doing my entire life. And apparently there are people who make a whole lot of money. There are people who are doing a whole lot of things, right? So I'm not really sure why people like why it would be like why I would have to. I'm not gonna say dim my light, but I'm not really sure what what I mean. What why people think that like my life like. People may make agreements for a professional life to be like difficult in certain regards. People may be like some like there may be a standard why professional life may be what it is or whatever. But like in terms of how I choose to live my life, right? Because I'm like that part like when people say like they have to live a life where it's like well it just comes with the territory and all that type of stuff. And screen that off. That's not always the case. I don't think that doesn't always have to be the case. But I can make a negotiation with God. God, I get it. But like at some point, it's like, what's the point of being professional? You're going to suffer like your entire life while you're a professional. I'm not really sure where they do that at, and why would they do that? I'm not really sure. Okay. And even if people do make that agreement, it's slightly different. Like, don't come about. I get it. But like in terms of like every day struggle. No, that was a lie. Okay. I'm not trying to lay no cancer patient people my head cover, okay? Anyway, but that's it, okay? so anyway, but like, so I'm not laughing at cancer patients. I'm just saying to the extent that like, I know what story people are telling. But like, that's it, okay? That is it. And so, So that's it, people. So like if it's a guy, whatever, blah blah, they're built in checks. Like I'm sure there's a way that I don't have to slow down or dim my light or whatever. I'm not saying a man would ask me to dim my light. I'm sure there's a way I can live my life, just live free, be have like just be able to kind of just because just do what I want to do basically, and it's not going to affect any of the guys I love in any way, right? Any negative way, right? Is at all, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that there's I'm pretty sure there's a way that works. I don't have to worry about everything I'm doing every day when I go out every day of my life. So that's it. And to the extent they what I eat don't make you shit, what you eat don't make me shit, blah blah. And it's like that's not the issue. Yeah, sure. What I do doesn't affect you, and what you do doesn't affect me. But what if you are relying on me, and therefore, what I do has an impact on you, even though it may not be it may not be like, even though my philosophy may be like it's not going to affect you. Maybe your philosophy is not going to affect, it's not going to affect me or whatever. But like, that's just how the world works, right? There's something there or whatever, or not even that's just how the world works. But if you can't get enough of me or whatever, if I'm your addiction, right? If I'm your addiction, if you love me so much and you can't get enough of me, and even though there's no connection that way, but you can't get enough of me, right? So it's like, because you can't get enough of me, like you're relying on me to slow down when you need me to slow down, or like every now and again, like whatever I don't understand this, and it's not the codependency stuff, whatever, blah blah blah, positive regard, but that's the idea, right? But if there's no, if like, what if it's like a conflict where like neither, Love is a choice, people, in terms of like, when you get married to someone. Like your family, the guys in your, like, I'm a woman, so the guys in my family, it just is fam. It's family, here, whatever we want to call it, positive regard. I don't really know. I'm not going to call it, I don't want to know if the word is here, right? Because I think that's the word they use in the Bible for, like, certain things and like certain other things for men. I'm not going to call it, but that's the idea, okay? Say, like, I'm somewhere and like, in like, whatever. Say like there are, if I'm, there, whatever. Okay. So anyway, I'm just saying the guys I love, right? Or the guys who love me, whatever word you want to use, like whatever. We have affiliated interests, associated interests, allied interests, whatever, complementary interests, whatever you want to say. So I guess the whole idea is like, I'm not running roughshod, but it's like, it says, I'm one person and like, I don't think God would make the world, and if like God, it gave me sex appeal, right? Or God gave me, you know what I mean? Something where, God just really loved me or whatever. Like it would just, and I'm not greedy or gluttonous. I'm not like trying to, I love men, yes, but it's not like I'm trying to like, it's just how God created me. It's just like a blessing God gave to me. But I'm not trying to, like just say, well, I want all the men, and like in like a way that's inappropriate. Like that's not what's going on. But it's just who I've just been born. God has just given me a draw where men like me or whatever, and it's like, well, how am I supposed to manage all that? It's like, it's like, can you choose to be a leader? Are you called to be a leader, called, chosen, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And if it's not leading in that sense or whatever you want to use it, if I'm called or chosen or whatever, then how do I navigate it, right? How do I navigate it? I've been on this earth for 40 years, right? So anyway, but like, I have to be built-in checks. They are. My relationship until they help, blah, blah, blah. I'm not applying that to the men. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying that's the idea, right? Or to the guys, whatever. But like, and they're built-in checks in terms of like all types of system checks and stuff like that, and then all types of tools people can use, right? And then it's me and the tools I have and the guys and the tools they have, and I just added a couple things there, right? I took it up again, but not in a bad way, because apparently the doppelgangers and they say, well, we're taking it up, I'm taking it up again, blah, blah, blah. But like, they just saying that because, they just, I don't really know, they're looking for money or they think they got it wrong, I don't really know. But shout out to the millennials, right? Because I hear what they're saying. I hear what millennials are saying. In some ways, that I may be considered a millennial. I mean, I'm not born in that particular, whatever that, I was born in the 80s, but like, I can identify with a lot of things, millennial, I can identify. So, yeah, so I think that's it. So for, I mean, the built-in checks, I don't know all the built-in checks, but I know they're enough, right? Sometimes time is one or whatever. But I don't mean time in that regard, because then people think they're going to jail for a long time. That was a lie. I just mean that, like, in terms of, like, figuring things out, the fact that they're, like, certain, or, whatever, patience. People have different characteristics and stuff. Those are all built-in checks. But then also to the extent there's like government structures and stuff like that, and like the process for writing a law, a bill into a law and all that type of stuff. All those are built-in checks. Okay, I don't know what CD is. But anyway, and then people say you did good and shit because people are like retarded as hell. And I hate when doppelgangers be like, because I say some shit, they may be older, younger. I'm not younger. They may be, I don't know, whatever age they are. But when I say some shit, right, then they want to act like a doppelganger killer. Anthony's catching on, blah, blah, blah. The devil is a lie, okay? Because these dumb bitches think, I'm sorry, I'm not calling females dumb. I'm just saying to the extent that they doing dumb bitch shit, right? And they're gonna try to make me think that I just been in the blind and in the dark for all these years and blah, 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 and they did some shit for me. That was a lie. I don't want no bitch, nothing, not down, not then, or not ever. And that's never gonna change. If you're a man, don't come to my friends with no bitch. That's it. That's it. If I pay a bill, don't ring in it. Because I don't really know. Because apparently, they think I'm the one that's catching different signals. But apparently, all these bitches are catching signals and don't know that they not the ones, right? They don't know. They think this authentic signal for them. Positive regard to each of them, okay? So, the correct answers apply to them. Apply to yourself, apply to them, blah, 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 whatever, okay? But God is good, okay? I ain't never been dumb. And like, so for the point that like, to the extent that like, people are like, well, we just didn't know, like there are enough data points or, evidence or facts, whatever you want to call it, that like the people could know. And they at least be on inquiry notice. Like they should at least think about it or inquire about it or constructive notice or whatever. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just saying they should at least be on notice, right? Because then bitch gonna try to use this shit. But should everybody be entitled to know the law? I don't really know, right? Or what parts of the law, whatever. But like, it's like information, freedom of information stuff, and like, but they try to only do my logic. So when I say something, people understand things a different way because apparently I'm good at like speaking and teaching and all that type of stuff, right? you know, so for whatever reason, arguing, negotiating, all this stuff. So when I say something, people like, it's like, you know, it's a doubly impactful, or not even doubly, multiple. It's like, it's very, very, is what I say things very easy to understand, you know, whatever, because it's funneled through all of my experience and the way I've kind of made sense of it and everything. Because when I study, I study. When I read, you know, and like I have like, you know, all the like, you know, it's just very valuable. Like the way I say things with a depth of knowledge. I say things with a breadth of knowledge. And so people are like, oh, it resonates with people for whatever reason, right? So when they leave, when I've done something, or when I said something, when they leave, they're like, they feel like they really got their money's worth or whatever. But apparently bitches ain't paying for shit. So that's a problem, people. Okay, y'all need to put, you know, I don't mean like give it like shit. Because I don't know. Apparently there are females who think that that's like the currency. They think that like you got to do, like give it a lick in order to like get your money. I don't really know where they do that shit at. The devil is a liar. I don't know what the scene is. Okay. Because like where I come from, you know, they're like, credit cards and I don't know, I'm not talking about Nelly Drill, but there are actual like, you know, there's cash, like money, like dollar bills and stuff, okay, and you know, like and checks and stuff like that. None of this stuff that's like in the like the realm of what people like energy work around, okay. That's not what I said. I've not been doing that my entire life. That was a lie. Okay, so apparently, you know, that's the whole thing. People, you know, the fact that like that's one thing, like, and it's nothing that I can. It's not. It's just. It's not me. It's not something that like that over which, because people think like it's something that manage and control. Blah blah blah. That was a liar. Okay. The only reason that some of the things that certain things are manageable for me or whatever blah blah is because you know of you know I'm not I'm not like you living in the you know, Shenandoah Valley and shit. You know, don't be ridiculous, people. You know, rent. You gotta pay rent. You gotta pay. You know, car and gas and all that type of stuff. Like, you know, I don't know what CD is. I'm not saying it's about money. I'm just saying to the extent people are gonna pay me experience or they want me to do something to help them feel better about themselves in order for me to recover my funds, the devil is a liar. Okay, I'm not dumb. So, So anyway, so that's it. So there are guys, right? They women. I trust God, right? I trust God. They, you know, they don't have to believe in God. They just might need, you know, whatever, a vote of confidence, okay? And whatever that vote of confidence is, I'll try to give it to them. You know, and that's it. And you know, or you know, I'll try to give it to them. You know, but it can't be something that's going to be a violation of who I am and a violation of what I believe. And there's certain things that there are built-in checks and like the way it works. And I don't know even when God, assuming all that's, if I want to do something, God says no. Like there may be a limited free will, whatever. I'm not really sure, but like if God says no, even if I really wanted to do it for a guy or whatever, it's not something I can do. Apparently I had a shotgun wedding. I don't really know. Or did I elope? I don't really know. But like what I understand about elopement and shotguns and also, and like the way I understand it, it may be a little bit different about how, you know, how people understand it, you know, based on what their experiences were, whether truth or like any combination of those types of things or whatever. But like, you know, my former husband, he met people in my family and stuff, my granddad, before he passed and everything or whatever, or died or whatever. And so, yeah, so I'm, you know, but you know, whatever. People, I'm just saying, I wasn't marriage material. If there's a guy, like there are guys, like family should be able to stay together. You know, if I want if they're you know, consenting individuals in a family, I don't know about all feelings positive regard to the female, should be able to. There's a way it works. Even if there's certain things, you know, but like the way like. There's certain things, institution structure, blah, 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 that's just how it is. But it does not mean people are entitled to money for it. It just means that's how it is, okay? But, like, people should also be able to contract. Like, states, you know, I don't leave that alone about the states impairing contracts and stuff like that. But that's the idea, like, you know, whatever that general idea is about, like, states cannot impair contracts between individuals and stuff like that. Some things you just need like notaries on and stuff, probably for enforcement, for the contract to be a consenting contract between two, regardless of, I'm not really sure that's even a problem, right? Because if I send somebody, I have a POA and blah, 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 but like, you know, I'm not really sure, you know, anyway. But positive got these people, so I'm gonna leave that there. But anyway, yeah, Yeah, so if it's a guy and like he should not, a guy who wants to stay in my jurisdiction should not be punished, because if the only way to stay in my jurisdiction, he has to be as experienced as I am in whatever my best possible game is, and the guy is not as experienced as I am in my best possible game, or whatever. Say it's an objectively difficult game and it's my best possible game. Let's just say it's lawyering or whatever, if I'm a lawyer, pending licensure, but let's just say it's lawyering, lawyer, attorney, pending licensure, or lawyer and attorney, or whatever. Okay, but let's just say lawyering is being an attorney is the highest, or a lawyer, whatever, is a high, or lawyer or attorney, whatever, is the highest level, and it's difficult across the board for anybody to do that, and for anybody to lawyer or attorney. And then also, the guy, and then it's also difficult because of because of who I am, because I'm really good at what I do, because I'm really good at I'm really good, right, in my career, whatever my career is. And the guy's like, well, I had to be able to be where you are. Then, how does that, because how does a guy stay in my jurisdiction? And it has to be a law. Like, the law cannot, I'm not really sure. There's a reason why there's fam, there's a reason why there's, here, fam, whatever, positive regard, males don't know about no feelings, positive regard to them, for this or that. But, like, there's a reason why there's, when God creates family, right? That's it. There's also, there are all types of things: grandfather clause, shelter provisions, halo provisions, retroactive, full faith and credit, not enforcing retroactive laws or whatever, full faith and credit, it's a whole lot of stuff, right? So, so there are a whole lot of ways that, so to prevent an absurd result, right? Because like if you're, if like you are like everybody in Jersey doing everything, if everybody has game what they're doing, blah, 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 okay. But like I need to learn their game, I need to learn my game, blah blah. It's like and their game is hard for me, my game is hard. Their game is hard for me, my game is hard for them, or difficult for them. Their game is difficult for me. But we know I know enough of his game. He knows enough of my game. Whoever the guy is, right? If a guy's a pastor and I'm a lawyer or whatever, or if the guy's like an artist and I'm an artist, but different type of art or whatever. If I'm a whatever you want to say, or what if I'm a lawyer and so he's an artist, or I'm an artist and or whatever races and like complexion or whatever the differences are between myself and whoever the guy is, right? Or if he's older and I'm younger, or if he's younger and I'm older, or if he's older and I'm younger, or if he's younger and I'm older, whatever, blah blah. All this stuff, like all this stuff, it could be complex. How much I need to know about him and how much he needs to know about me. Like if I'm going to if it's like regarding whoever the guys are, right? That's it. What happened to all the guys my age, okay? But anyway, so that's it. But like, so that's it, right? God is good. I mean, in terms of like, marriage and stuff like that, but like, or being wed, but like, or whatever, or in any regard, like where I work and all type of stuff, and not just my age, race, whatever, at my level, or, whatever, all that type of stuff. And apparently doppelgangers think they stole all the men. That was a lie, okay? I don't know what the saying is. But like, so that's it, right? And I don't have any reason to be mad. I'm not mad at God, about credibility. I'm not mad at God. Like, if all says and give credit to somebody else, that was a liar. Even they did, God is good, right? So people can think they're doing that on earth, but I believe in God. And God says no one will get credit for my work because God is giving me the credit for my work. That's it. I can't help people understand why my religious beliefs silly help, but that's it. Why I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous of nobody. I believe in God or whatever, and I don't have a jealous bone in my body, and I don't care. It just, I don't know, it's hard for people to believe. And they say, well, they're going to be credible, they're going to drive vote on whether or not I'm jealous, or credibility about whether or not I'm jealous, whatever. And people keep trying to keep hitting their heads over and over again because it's not something that's subject to a vote, and it's not going to change anything, right? You can't vote on my personal belief about myself, and you also cannot vote on and you try to vote on it, but you try to selective type of incorporation and shit, selective memory, selective, acknowledgement, selective memory, selective recognition, whatever. It's a whole lot of selective shit going on because people just are just picking shit here and there to try to prove their point. But I have data points about being wealthy, smart, beautiful, and having strength, and being the first, and being the best, whatever, the gold, platinum, whatever you want to have. I have enough data points to prove all of it. Even there are other people in other jurisdictions doing all that type of stuff. I have enough points. I have enough, data points, evidence, facts to prove, or it's to support why I'm saying have strength, wealth, beauty, and I'm smart. Just straight, there's evidence and facts to support it. That's it. There's evidence and facts to support it, and that's it, right? That's it. And anything that people try to say, like, I guess people try to make it, well, you know, one step forward, one step back, that was a liar. And, like, we know every good thing is a bad thing, that was a liar. And, you know, it's the problem with all of it, that was a liar. And, you know, it's all bad, that was a liar, okay? So, I think the only thing, like, it's more evidence that people are hating on me and shit than there is evidence about mistakes being made. That's it. And most people who, and there are people who may have, like, you know, all like the difficulties and stuff, but they probably don't have all the data points of like success and achievement. They have like things that may be considered like kind of things that like are not considered you know like I'm not really sure if people have many data points of achievement, but other people have a different achievement as I have, you know, just one for one. Let's like put to the side everything else, right? And like say, especially like I just objectively whoever you are, passing the bar exam is a fucking accomplishment, people. That's it, okay? Assuming that's the highest level you can get. I've achieved that, okay? Passing the bar exam, that's it, okay? It's very rare that, you know, it's just a objective accomplishment across the board, and I have, you know, everything else across the spectrum. And then the evidence about the mistakes, all you need to know is somebody like, you know, took my tags and shit and like went to the light and shit. That's it. You know, and I won that ticket. That's all you need to know. All you need is one. I'm not saying it's not like, you know, if you've been a victim, I should be a victim again. Devil's a liar. I don't know what CD is, you know. You know, nobody's taking advantage of me. I take care of myself, and I protect myself and all that type of stuff. And God is good. Blah, blah, the built-in checks is the way it works, okay? There's a reason why men are born into my family and stuff like that, but there's different things going on like that. But I don't know what CD is, and I know what you're saying, like, because, you know, like I thought we were trying to make arguments and shit. But that's it. So, because they're like, well, we have brothers too. That was a lie. Okay, moving on. Okay, but like, but that's, or uncles or cousins or, you know, children or, you know, grandparents. That was a lie. Because they, you know, they may not have that. Moving on. And so, but like, so that's the thing to say, right? So, so for every achievement, like I have everything to prove. I did it myself, and it was not like everybody shit. For every, or, you know, hardware, software. I was hardware and software for all my accomplishments, you know, and I have enough data points, you know, I have enough data points that people are hating, you know. You know, I have enough data points to protecting myself, you know, and I have enough data points taking care of myself. That's it. I don't have any problems. No character flaws, problems, issues. I have a good character. That's it. So also to my man, I didn't do nothing wrong. My man didn't do nothing wrong. You know, God didn't do nothing wrong. The system didn't do anything wrong, right? So, or whatever, the built-in checks didn't do anything wrong. But, you know, to the extent it's a matter of first instance, like, it takes a little bit of time. And, like, it's like, well, what do the guys need, right? What do the guys need if, like, I didn't do anything? No, you know, we get it. Everybody had, like, there may be difficulties across the spectrum. Myself and my guys, whatever. It's like, what do the guys need? It's like, okay, something that I can handle, something they can handle. That's it, okay? A vote of reassurance. And it's like, okay, and guys who love me know what a vote of reassurance would be. So I give them a vote of reassurance. That's it. Vote of reassurance. And people cannot vote on things that are like people cannot vote on things that are like personal to me. They also, even if they try to vote like, well, you know, no, they can't even vote on that shit, because, you know, I will win that game also, because there enough evidence that I get the vote. Assuming there's a vote about whether or not I'm beautiful, I have enough vote. There's evidence why I get the votes why I'm beautiful. If it votes about why I'm smart, there's enough evidence to vote why I'm smart. Votes on why I have strength, there's enough evidence to vote why I have strength. And votes on, you know, I have wealth, there's enough evidence about votes on why I have wealth. Just objectively speaking, like, I get it, you know, being black and female, all this stuff, but it's across the board, like, you know, whatever, you know, that's it. It's enough votes, and the money and income to which I've, like, you know, over my lifetime, right? Even though, you know, at certain points it have been difficult or whatever, man, not been exactly whatever, about, you know, I'm a model and, like, you know, my academic degrees, and you know, and like, just say playing sports or whatever, strength, okay, just playing sports or overcoming certain things, you know, emotional strength, physical strength, you know, and, you know, whatever. and other spiritual strength, mental strength, whatever. You know, I have enough data points of overcoming it all, even though there is something to mental health, and I know about, you know, diagnosis and everything. And apparently people are just like picking one thing out of all the diagnosis and saying, well, that's not the issue. Okay, yeah, but I have, like, you can't just pick one. There's a whole slew of stuff that people have said. Anyway, so, but like, and they're like, well, we don't even base on that. Okay, what else? Because I have scoliosis, all that stuff. Okay, people. But anyway, so, but like, so that's it, right? And you know, probably for certain people, like, who get certain things are not dispositive about whether or not a person should be entitled to like their severance package or their pension or that type of stuff, right? Or their checks, whatever. It just like people, you know, don't be ridiculous people. Anyway, so that's it. But like, but there's enough evidence that like all my accomplishments are worth every you know, whatever, 100 million billion, whatever, infinity, blah blah. But there's also evidence that all the things that have happened to me, there's evidence that like, you know, no fault on my own, and that also, so it's trying to send this saying, well, one good, one bad, and then place you average. No, it's one good. All the shit that the devil was trying to do to me or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, it's evidence that all that shit was bullshit. And so, like, that does not count against me. But since then I overcame it, it just means that it's like, I'm like, you know, a million multiplied, you know, or a trillion multiplied, blah, blah, blah. It just is like, it multiplies the fact that I was already achieving, I was already great, right? So, you know, that's, you know, so, I'm not arrogant. I'm not self-righteous. You know, there's no reason about the humble love stuff or like none of that shit. All that shit is fucking unnecessary, or like or whatever. What's the other thing is you know, about humble or like whatever. All that shit is fucking unnecessary. Okay. And so for the guys, about reassurance, and you know how they get the message to me, there's a built-in checks, and I thank God for helping me understand, right? And I'll figure it out, and God is good. I don't need no bitches to facilitate nothing. I ain't paying no bitches for nothing positive regard to each, you know. And so so I think that's it, right? And it's about to be an hour on this video also. Second video is about to be an hour. I want to end at an hour. Some other thing I should say, not gonna read that, but like I think that's enough, right? I think that's enough. 2 hours is enough, right? And I think I'm gonna rest, and then we can come back. Everybody, I can, you know, return. So it was good, and I'm early from silly hell. God is good. Other thing I wanted to say, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. And so I'm a model. I'm beautiful. I'm wealthy, and I'm strength. I keep saying the same thing. Bye.